Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my Tricky Truck Let's Play by Bonsewswesa. I'm going to be playing a few tracks, talking about a few things, and hopefully it's entertaining. So, first thing I wanted to talk about was, I actually am not using game Bonsewswesa on this laptop for Tricky Truck. You've probably seen someone by the name of Turds976 playing and getting high scores, like top 10s and stuff on levels. Yeah, that's me. I sort of came up with the name jokingly. I thought it would be funny to have top scores on... I thought it would be funny to have top scores on levels with a name like that, and have that name show up at the top. And eventually, I left for a while and eventually just stuck. So, yeah, that's why that's the name now. And I've also put a bit more into making levels. I made a couple of levels on Bonsewswesa, but they're more proof of concept than anything. Like, I just wanted to see, like, oh, can I make a level where you're running away from a whole bunch of giant balls? Can I make a level where you're in a collapsing building? Well, I think, like, personally, I think they were good levels, but I can't really say so without being biased. I do think that they were way too short, that there wasn't enough, they weren't meaty enough for levels, because I prefer levels that are around, like, at least, like, 1.5 to 2 minutes long. And what's this? You asking me to rate the level in the level? No, thank you. Right there. Six. Yeah, you can see right there. It's something. But I wanted to make more levels that are more. They had more replayability in them. So you've probably seen Rooftop Course 1 and 2, and Lazy Block on here. Yeah, those are the levels I've made as Turds976, and the reason I made levels like that was they were kind of proof of concept as well, but there were more of several different concepts, as in the look obviously comes from Mirror's Edge with the just mostly white, except for the ramps, which are red. And I kind of liked doing that because it was very it was minimal and showed you exactly where to go with it. I've played this level. Let's do some of the best ones, because you probably want to see good levels and not just something that could be good or just could be stupid. Yeah, I don't understand this one. What else is there? Something? Yeah, that's a good level. I'll play that one again. Yeah, I wanted to make levels like that, and the main thing though with those levels was the you guys probably don't know, or some of you might, but I don't know. If in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, when you're on the second island, and there's that area where you can leap across several buildings on a motorcycle with jumps, I really liked the way that felt playing that, because you felt like you were actually jumping over rooftops and stuff. So I wanted to emulate that in Tricky Truck because I had the level editor in it. But the thing was, I had to keep the difficulty up because in a lot of games now, they give you these real dramatic and impressive situations, but the problem with them is they don't make you do it. They show you it happening. Like in Uncharted, for example, like, oh, you can be on the cargo plane from Indiana Jones and doing this situation like that, but you're not really doing it. You don't feel like you're doing it. You feel like it's a level in than just the cover-based shooter, so you don't have to do a whole lot except just like shoot the guys and jump over a couple of things, and that's about it. But in Tricky Truck, I felt like I could make it so it forces you to actually do the things that are impressive. So that's why the difficulty's up, because if you want to do something impressive, you have to do something impressive yourself. So if you want to make the seesaw jump and avoid all the swings and everything, you have to do that. You can't just... it's just there to be next to you, so you feel like you do. You actually have to do it. And I felt like I succeeded with that. The other inspiration was also, it's probably not very obvious, but Demon Souls. Because, particularly the first level in the game, the first Boletaria Castle level, where you start at the bottom, and as you ascend, or go through the level, in most cases, you can see exactly where you've come from, and it shows you, like, you can see how far you've come, literally, and you can see it the whole time. It's a constant reminder that you are making progression. And so I wanted to make these levels sort of like that as well, where you could see where you had come from most of the time. So, for example, in Rooftop Course 1, you start at the bottom, you go through all the alleys and everything, but you are still, when you get up to the top, they are still invisible. They're still clearly visible. You see exactly how far you've come. And I did the same thing with Lazy Block and Rooftop Course 2, because I felt like it's a value that I like being represented, so I just made that in it. I probably will make another one at some point, but I am considering recording and making it, and then speeding up and making a video. It could be fun, I don't know. Maybe if anyone watches this, you can tell me in the comments if you'd like to see that. Because, I don't know, it'd just be nice to just have some feedback. And what else was there? Yeah, it was just that. Just wanted to talk about that for a bit. I enjoyed making levels in this game, so I want to talk about making levels in this game. What else is it to do that? Got Tricky Truck. Because I don't... Wait, I know a few Let's Players come in with scripts and stuff, but I don't. I prefer it to be more natural. So, yeah, you will get periods of silence. Like now. But when there is something happening, it's me talking directly, it's not me reading anything. So it's much more natural. It's like improv comedy, kind of. Like, yeah, a lot of the time, well, it's a higher percentage of success than that, but in improv comedy, yeah, most of the time, you try something and it doesn't work, but when it does work, it's very organic, and it's very memorable. And that's sort of what I want to do. So I want to just not be fake and scripted at all. I just want to play a game, talk about it. And that's what I'm doing. Like, there are things I want to talk about, like making a level, so I'll just talk about them. I won't just produce it or whatever. Yeah, so this is me playing. I actually am not... There are a few things I'm actually not good at all with this game. Still need to try and work on that. One of them is reversing, because there are quite a few levels that require you to reverse into the goal or reverse in some other way, and I am just not good at doing it quickly. The amount of... I think it's just the snowball effect that any of your steering has on it. It's very complex to predict at this point, so I'm trying to just work on observing it more. Because the slightest little turn on your truck can completely change where you are going. like the drop of a hat. So I'm trying to make sure that I can be more effective in doing that, because there are a few levels I still can't beat because of that. The other thing is, it's not as common, but it is tipping the truck on its side. Like, I don't mean just flipping it over, I mean like having one set of wheels in the air and the other set of wheels still driving. Because it's just, like, for example, like that. Like, keeping the truck in that diagonal state without tipping either way is just something I just cannot seem to figure out. It's just so specific with the way you need to drive the truck, and I'm just not that good at doing that. So I try and just work some my strengths for now, and just do things I can do. But yeah, this is actually one of my favourite levels in the game. It's just, I don't know, it's just a pleasure to race, because it's just, it's very well refined, and there aren't a lot of rough corners on it. It's just a very well produced level. I'm not doing as well as I did last time on this, because I think Fraps is lagging this a little bit. So I'm not, because lag is sort of different on Tricky Truck than it is in other games. Whereas, like, sometimes the frame rate will drop. Other times, nah. Yeah, I also got this. So, sometimes the frame rate will drop. Other times it will detect that the CPU is overloaded, and it will slow down the physics a little bit. And so it will actually change the speed of everything. And it is kind of, no, it's very off-putting to do that, because it's everything you expect that you know about the way the game plays. It just completely changes. And it's only something like a quarter of a second slower, but you're going to react differently, and it's very hard to just change that to suit the way the game's being made to be. And just put that one on us. So, I'm gonna try this. No, you probably not going to do that. It's not going to do it. This is the. And yes, I do have my own level favorited. It's just so I can remember it easily, because I don't want to go through alphabetic to find it every time. So I just leave it there, because I just need one, because then I could just go there. All levels from him. There's all my levels. So let's just play another one, and then I'll end the video. And if you have any levels that you want me to play, just tell me in the comments, and I'll see if I can play them in the video. It's that simple. Yeah, I'm just trying to find one more level to play. No, not that one. Yeah, simple. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them. Yeah, and this is a thing that happens sometimes with Tricky Truck. When you press tab to restart, it sometimes just freezes for a little bit. I'm not going to make that, so I'm not going to even bother trying. It's very well thought out to do that. Actually, I don't really like when people do that, because I feel like inserting PCB is not nice for the free players, because with the free players, they can't use the backspace to jump back a few seconds. They have to restart the whole level every time they touch a PCB. So I feel like if you're putting PCB in the level, you you're kind of just ruining it a bit for them. Especially if they're not good at the game and they're just trying to get started. It's a lot of punishment for something that doesn't need to be there. So that's kind of why that's why I didn't put any in the levels I've made. Because I feel like if I'm going to use the paid stuff, like for example in the first level I made spiral smashing. I would probably, if I remade that level, I would probably use PCB in it on the bottom, like in that little cove at the start, where because it would force you to stop the truck, and not just because I realise now that you can just sort of leave the truck and it will fall off by itself, and even if it does touch the PCB, even if it does touch the end point, you can still push some pieces of it off. And so I feel like that's the way I wanted people to play that, was I wanted them to be forced to shove the truck off to complete the level. So I feel like paid stuff is already being used, so no one who can't use backspace is going to be playing it. So yeah, if I make levels with paid stuff, I'll probably use PCB. Not excessively, but I will use it if necessary, in situations like that, to just enforce the way to play the level, and make sure that the shortcuts can be used, unless they're really cool. Like, a shortcut I think is cool is when you go up on the top, and someone actually managed to, not with the main truck, but with the 4x4, they managed to just fall off the front and do a cool flip, and then land on the bottom. And like things like that, I really like that, because it's showing that like someone really, like, they saw the opening and they did it. They weren't like being cheap, because it was just, I feel like how cool it is sort of deflect from that. Like for example, I'll just show you quickly one of my levels. I'll show you a replay someone did of it that I think is really cool. So, where is it? Not replay, it's Rift Course 2, it is. And it's not the standard truck, it is the sedan. Here is the coolest replay I've seen on one of my levels, and I really like it. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I'm just saying the replay was cool. I'm not trying to show off the level, because this is, yeah. So this isn't my, if you haven't been paying attention, this isn't my replay, this is someone else's replay who's playing. I'm just showing something that they did that I think is really cool, that I completely did not think of, but is cool nonetheless. So it's just that. Just, I mean, because technically I did make the swing to be an elevator, and he did use it to elevate himself. So, congratulations for doing that one, that's really cool. Yeah, very happy ending. And that is a good note to end on. So I will probably make more of these.